Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another edition with psychic medium Kelly Joe. And do I tap dance? No, I do not, but I will try for Kelly Joe anytime. How you doing, Kelly?
Good. Good to be here. We're having Lynn on tonight. We're excited.
Yes. Hey, John, Kathy A. Levon, nice to see you. Nice to have you in here tonight. Well, welcome everybody. I see Little Twisted's number 7 in the likes. Nice to have that. Hello, Liana. Nice to see you there. I knew she entered the studio in the backstage when she came in. And hello, Mary, sweetie. How you doing there? Scott. And we got Eric Thompson, which brings us to one of our sponsors for the show tonight. You know, if you do not know about Eric Thompson, he's very good with making paranormal gear. And I love him to death. Rest in peace, paranormal gear. I have the gear, rim balls, rim pods, you name it. He has it. Check him out. I love his gear. We use it on all of our investigations. Thank you, Eric, for sponsoring Kelly Joe's show tonight. Rest in peace, paranormal. Rigger1971 at gmail.com. Thanks, Eric. Greatly appreciate that. So, how was your weekend, Kelly?
Good.
Well, good. I'm really glad to hear that. And how's the weather down there?
We are going to get a cold front. It's going to drop about 40 degrees Thursday and stay cool until next week.
Well, there's a chance for sleet and snow up here right outside Indianapolis. So, yes, you're welcome, Eric. You're a great sponsor. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have one of your own coming on the show tonight. I'm real excited about her. We talked about her last week on Kelly's show. She actually got a reading from Kelly Joe. And it's the one and only Linda Judd. Welcome to the show, Linda. How are you?
Hi, guys. Well, I'm jumping from the audience to the screen.
Right? Isn't that the truth? So introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, Linda.
Well, I've been raising myself as a psychic all my life because there was no support from family except my dad, but my parents got divorced early, so it was like I didn't get to grow up with him. But I later found out that all of his family very psychic. So it's like I got a lot from my grandmother on my mom's side, and I just had a whirlwind of experiences. And I got a chance to study with Sylvia Brown for a couple of years. And this because I was working at a job in San Francisco, and I felt like we had a ghost in the building. And one of my coworkers came up to me and said, "Do you want to meet Sylvia Brown?" And I go, "Who's that?" It's like and it was like, I think I've heard of her. I'm not sure. And then I spent 2 years studying with her, and I was like so thankful to meet her because every time she opened her mouth, she was talking about an experience of her own And I'm going like, I've had that experience. And so it's like really, really heartwarming for me. And it was like, finally, I get somebody to talk to that understands what I'm going through. So I, I grew up a lot with empathy, and telepathy, and a lot of dreams, and I have seen ghosts actually in person, but it's not a usual thing for me. So I've made a lot of friends in the last couple of years who are psychics, and I go, Angela, I think there's somebody here that wants to cross over, and I'm talking to her through the chat. I mean, messenger. And she's helped me, and she goes, you can do this on your own. And I go, okay, I'll give it a whirl.
Wow.
And so even though my method is a little different than most mediums, I do have all the clairs, and it's just, I think, a matter of getting over my shyness. Although it doesn't seem like I'm shy, but I was, in my early life, I was very shy. So I'm wondering what we're going to get to do tonight.
You've always been a medium. You could always see the dead and feel the dead and hear them.
Well, I don't know how you do that, but it's like, I do know in the last couple of years, I've realized that everything has an associated feeling, and I read my feelings for just about everything. So it was like empathy that got me through all the only lonely times, because I'm an only kid, and I got to experience, I think, just about everything. And the only thing I haven't done is actually gone on an investigation to see how if I get to talk to another ghost in person. But when I was a kid, I would feel energy from the car. We would be driving, and I would feel the energy change in neighborhoods. And when I was in college, that's how I found my next apartment, was to drive through neighborhoods, see if I wanted to live in, the apartments that were for rent. And it's never failed me, never. When I don't listen, that's a whole other story. Yeah.
But that's how you perceive it.
Yeah. Yeah. So when one of the things that Sylvia was explaining was a story about how these Jesuit priests were walking through this guy's office, and he didn't know what was going on, and she explained it to him. And as she was telling this story, I'm actually seeing them walk past her, and I'm like, oh my God, I can see that, And it's like hypnosis. When we studied hypnosis, we studied everything in healing, in praying, and meditating, and hypnosis, and past life regression. And I get a kick out of doing past life regression, because it's like, I love stories, and I can see when a person I'm helping starts telling their story, I can actually completely visualize it. And it's like, I know what questions to ask them. And it's a whole lot of fun for me. And I get to help them.
That's so cool.
I know you guys cover all this kind of stuff.
So you do readings professionally too?
Not professionally, no, because my reading method is a little different. And I help the people who I live in a community of seniors. We have like 3 buildings dedicated that are all apartments for independent living seniors. And every time I turn around, I'm answering people's questions. I'm fighting ghosts in the complex, and I help them pass over. And that's what I've been doing mostly in the last few years. And Angela was the one that kind of like taught me, like the procedure kind of like thing. And I carried on. And so I've actually had a chance to see all my family does have passed over, and she was helping me with that. And it was like a nice little meeting. I said, how did you, a couple of years later, I said, Angela, how did that feel when we were doing that, particular get together over Messenger? And she goes like, it was just wild because everybody kept turning up. We had 5 spirits in the room, and the room was her in Ohio and me in California. And every time she told me who was in the room, I'd get an image, right? Because I know all these folks. They're my family. And the concern at the moment, at that particular moment, was that I had this dream about a little baby, and he had kind of like a rictus face. He was like wheezing, and I picked him up, and I got upset because I saw 3 people in the room and they weren't helping him. And I popped out of my dream, and I got up and talked to my boyfriend about it. And he says, what would you have done if that was a real situation? And I said, I would have called 911, And so what happened is that I calmed down. I knew that the dream was going to come back, and it did. And there was this baby again, only this time his face was very peaceful. And I was so happy. And then he disappeared. It's like he moved on. And I'm going like, wow, what did that mean? He says, I was dying when I came back to the dream. That's what he told me. And it took me a little bit of time to figure out what that meant. But he was in a death cycle. He had been, Angela's and Joshua Dixon were helping me get through this one. And Joshua was telling me that the baby had been a miscarriage. And this baby was my son's baby. And it's like, they knew. Now, I don't know if he wants me to be telling this, but they knew when she had a miscarriage. They didn't know when she had a miscarriage the first time, but they knew on this second one because it was like 3 months along. And so Angela brought in my family members, and where they came, I'm sure spirit comes on their own, And we talked about this, the baby. And my dad says to me, and he's the one that understood me my whole life, all right? But I didn't get a chance to grow up with him. So he says, I'm gonna take care of the baby for you. And a few months later, I said, how is the baby? And he said, he's at peace now. He's not sad anymore because he died. He's not sad anymore because he didn't have a name. He felt unloved, but we gave him all that love. We gave him all that love. Because when I found him in the dream and I picked him up, I was just carrying him to my heart. I didn't know why. I just did. Thank you for letting me share that.
No, absolutely.
Hi, guys. I see a bunch of you in the audience, and I love you all.
they're loving and everything. I got a question for you. Then we're gonna rewind. Can you? I'm getting a sense. Can you tell when somebody's going to pass?
I know some of the signs, so in that sense, yes. It's like, I don't really want to talk about this right now.
No, I just sense that, and I know you're having problems with it. It's okay. My mom had it too, and she had a real rough time with it, and she asked God to take it away. And it's okay. There's some things I have struggles with too, and Kelly Joe's been really blessing with me. One of the things I wanted to ask, let's rewind and explain to us at an early age, because I'm seeing images and stuff. Talk about how you knew and did not know about your abilities, and talk about how that transition worked as you was growing up. I'm fascinated about that.
Yeah. For some reason, telepathy was a big when I finally got to know, about all the clairs and all the different abilities that are very common that everybody really has, um, telepathy, I would say, was the biggest thing that helped me through life, because I wasn't able to share this kind of stuff. And it wasn't until the last couple of years that I actually understood the process of how it works. So I've always been curious, how does something work? And I think everybody should hang on to their curiosity. Oh, thanks, Susan. That's really sweet of you. So telepathy for me, when I was, oh my gosh, I can remember as far back as 3 years old. I I would get when I knew there was a thing. I got in trouble, okay, because I kind of like understood what people were going through, and it's because I could hear their thoughts, and their thoughts
Right.
came to me in their own speaking voice. And I thought that they had told me out loud, talking voice. I thought they had told me all this stuff. And so I would start talking about it, and I was like losing friends left and right. And the ones that didn't matter to them, that I would talk about such personal things with them, they remained friends. But the others, they would give me these like deer in the face, kind of eyes, like, how did you know? And like, how dare
Right.
you talk about that? And it's like, oh God, what have I done now? Really, I didn't know what to do. So I just decided somehow I must have gotten this, advice, but I didn't recognize it as a spirit guide, because I had no one to tell me what the ins and outs of things were. And I all I can remember is that I had developed this um, I would, when I was talking to folks, anybody's and friends, I would I would look at them in their face, right? Not just sideways, like they're talking this way and
Right.
I'm in the middle or on the side of them. I'm actually facing them, I'm actually seeing their whole face, their eyes, their mouth, everything, right? And this would tell me when I heard them talk, when I saw it come out their mouth, I mean, the actions of that movement, it told me that this is what was safe to talk to them about. That everything else that I heard, I had to like ignore. I mean, that's the only way I could get through that. I didn't want to lose friends. I mean, I was not encouraged to make friends. I was not encouraged to get to know the neighbors when I was growing up. It's just like, so school was a haven for me. School was
Right.
my salvation. I enjoyed school because there were folks my own age and I could talk to them. We didn't talk about a lot of stuff because I was pretty shy, but, it was a relief at least. So,
Right.
how you guys doing?
Doing great. Doing great. Yeah, I saw images as you was growing up, and it is tough, especially when you have these abilities to distinguish verbal and nonverbal with people,
Hmm.
because you
Yeah.
really don't realize if they're not
Yeah.
speaking to you. And it is hard because you can't carry on conversations with people and they will look at you like you're crazy. So, and if it wasn't for
Yeah.
Kelly Joe, helping me with a lot of things, and having her support with the others on the networking channel, I don't know where I would be, because it was kind of hard for me to understand what I was going through.
Hey, Lifeline.
And a lot of people just don't understand that, right? Because if you never experienced it, like Kelly Joe was born with that, and she's experienced that her whole life. She doesn't know anything different. So, just like when a
My dad
girlfriend got
got me.
slapped at the dinner table.
Yeah, it's important to recognize who gets you, who understands you, because sometimes you can only carry that in your heart. You can't, like, it's like I didn't have a chance to grow up with my dad, but the the love that I had for his understanding about me, it was just tremendous. It was tremendous. And he introduced me to angels. Levon,
Oh, wow.
you're very welcome. I appreciate that whatever it was in my life that helped you, that it did. Okay.
Yeah, and see, this is where
Little twisted. I've seen you before.
yeah, this is where sharing your experiences
I've
and
sure.
your
And
personal
there's
life
Eric
story.
is in the audience,
Yeah,
and Leanna's there, and
yeah,
Barbara. Hi,
Barbara.
Barbara. Barbara and I are in a
Oh,
group on
Levon's crying
Mondays,
right
and
now.
it's
You
okay,
have a
Levon. Tears are good. Tears are good.
you have a
It'll
grandma
help
on
you.
your mom's side behind you.
Well, I hope so.
She's on your right side. And then you also have your dad is passed on, correct?
Yeah.
Because he's with you too. You also have like 4 generations back, lady. And she's wearing a shawl. She was like a healer and an herbalist. So
That's
you have a
cool.
lot of
I wondered.
medicine women and seers. You
Well,
also
I had a recent. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you have a nun also.
A nun. Wow.
A nun.
Yeah. When I was with my dad for about 6 months, he gave me a choice of going to the school that was 2 blocks away, or I could go downtown Houston to the Catholic school. And he said, "Go ahead and walk down to that school that's 2 blocks away, and come back and tell me what you think."
Thank you.
And that was the first time I'd ever been blown away. I felt such rage and such negative energy coming from the schoolyard, and there were no kids in that at school at the moment that I was there, and I came back and I said, "I'll go to the Catholic school." Sight unseen, I'll go to the Catholic school. So, yeah. And but he already knew that one of his friends had a daughter who was going to the Catholic school, and she was my age, and so he knew that we were going to meet, and it was a blessing. Yeah.
So you talked about doing readings differently. Would you like to explain that a little?
Well, it was like this. This is from the. I guess it's all tied in with the telepathy, because I get images, and when I hear somebody talking about their life, I also hear their point of view, and I also see what's going on. And so it's like, I sometimes now this is, to me, not being able to see somebody's face makes a big difference for me, and I need to, and it's apparent that I'm able to read as well, being in a chat room situation, because I can remember a few years ago that somebody in the chat made a comment, and this download of information happened, and I happened to type it, in the chat. And immediately her friend came on the chat and says, "Mind your own beep beep business." And
Oh, no, she did.
I really hit a nerve,
Oh.
And it's like, I said, okay, I'm not going to answer her back. I'm not going to just stir the pot. And I just let it go. And it was like, that's kind of how you have to be. You have to. I didn't name names when I was typing up the info that I got,
Oh, she knew.
So it's
she
like
knew.
she was giving herself away.
Wow.
She knew. Now, hold up, Scott. Hold up, Scott. Now, Scott already threw his name in the pot. Hey, Renee, welcome to the show. Scott's like, hey, hold up. I want a reading. Scott. Grizzly is going to ask Linda Judd. Linda, would you like to read me? Hey, welcome, Christina Lamb. Nice to see you here. Because Linda was actually, if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, was actually already picking up on stuff on me as she was talking earlier on the show.
Today, just now?
a few minutes ago when you were talking to me. Yeah, I see you picking up on stuff. So if you like, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but if you like, I'd love for you to sample me.
Well, you have a lot of qualities that I appreciate. And
Well, I appreciate that. I really try a lot of things, but anything you would like to say, I'm not trying to put you on the spot like I just did, but no,
no,
I'm more than open to.
Well, you have a very strong connection to truth, and that's kind of like dear to my heart. When I found my faith and I declared my faith, I had the discernment of truth became loud and clear in my life, and I also saw more colors. So the thing I could say to you is that when everything, every action, every situation, every plant, everything in the world has a feeling associated with it. And when you pay attention to those feelings, those are the things that are going to guide you to discerning more truth, and also recognizing where in your inner life, your health, where there's a balance. Listening, where'd you go? There you are. So listening to, I'm the kind of person that has a deep curiosity, and I'm always asking, how does that work? How does that work? How does that work? And I declared to myself that I wanted to be a medical intuitive. And after that, I got a new gift came to me, and it's, somebody calls it time jumping. And in the last few years, I have been making an effort to get through the fourth dimension and head to the fifth dimension. And so all of the way around, that's my understanding is I listen a lot. And I pick up these tidbits, and everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. Everybody can listen and pick up pieces of information, and putting them together might not happen right away. It might take some time for the right situation to put them in together. So that's me telling you what I feel at the moment. Whatever it is that I'm supposed to talk about happens. It's more, I feel like more like I'm a channel than anything else. And I guess that's what the big difference is for me, is that I haven't ever been able to pinpoint what things are as far as being able to distinguish one gift from another until I started studying with Sylvia Brown. But even now, I don't distinguish. The reason I don't distinguish the different gifts is because I live my life as an open book. And that is something that dare I say it, my mother hated. She didn't want anybody to know anything about me. And I'm going like, I can't live my life that way, secret and hidden way, because this is my connection to life, is to be an open book. And yeah, sometimes you get very vulnerable. You leave yourself vulnerable and open. When you live your life in an open way, I don't know, it's like you lose your strength if you close up. And we have such a hard time maintaining our balance within and without our life, from the living in the big cities and having such a fast and paced life, to living in the smaller towns where life is a little slower. That's more healthy. That's because that gives you a chance to relax, to unfold from your day, and to live a life. Have a life that's, going to be more in your control than anything else. And that's what you want to do, is you want to maintain your power. You don't want to give your power away, but you want to help people. And you need to maintain that balance of, when am I giving power away? When am I actually sharing power? When is it equal? When is the because we're all equal. You know that? We're all equal. And not everybody lives their life that way. Then I wish they would. I wish they would.
Isn't that the truth, Linda? Kelly, what do you think?
Yeah.
About
What she's saying?
Yeah, you learn to it all our gifts meld together when we do readings. And we learn how to temper it as we get older, and we learn how to fine tune it, you know. So that's what it's more intense when we're younger because we haven't learned how to fine tune it yet. But
yeah. When I was in college, I had my epiphany of like, I was so it was the peak of my rebellion against how I was raised. And it's like I was so irritated that I couldn't even say the word God. And I went and looked, and that's when I found the faith that I found. And I have since then become easier with the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it really does. Eric's got a question for you. Can you answer this for me, Eric? What do you think, or how do you think, why my cats and other animals are saying to me from their minds? Am I hearing things, or am I just crazy?
Oh, you're not crazy. They have, Eric, they have souls. They're talking to you because they love you. And you can listen to them. And if this is where you need to practice listening, this is a good thing because they're handy.
Right?
You're not crazy, Eric.
Yeah.
Hello.
How do you feel helping people?
Oh, there's more. Hi, Mort. Pardon me?
How do you feel helping people?
I didn't hear all that. How do I feel helping people?
Yes.
I don't know. It's just like, I just do it. It's like, well, if I can help them, it's like I help, okay, like you said, I said stuff that helped you or that resonated with you. I don't always know when something's going to resonate. And so that's part of the reason why I live my life as an open book, because I'll never know. It's like, you've heard mediums say that they don't remember a reading, like the next time they see a person, they don't remember a reading. And I think that's why. I don't know. It's easier for me to just stick to the truth. You know what I mean? Because when you tell lies, you got to make up a lot of stuff. And if you could keep track of that, you would be much better off telling the truth and seeing your life. And actually, you can become the spiritual warrior for yourself by addressing your issues. Because when you address your issues, you have to be truthful to yourself, and you have to make every aspect of what it is that you're fighting to be on the table, even if it's just you evaluating a situation. Because when you're truthful about what's going on, what was my part in it, what was the other person's part in it, you get to see where it is that you need to improve yourself. And you've had this chat with yourself, and you've prayed about it, and you've meditated about it. And the next time this situation comes up, you actually know what to do. And that is it's a really great gift that you can give yourself.
No, absolutely. It's a peaceful feeling to be able to help people when you can.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It is. I also have, I think what you might call a gift of humor. And for many years, I think for 30 years, I worked as a Kelly girl type contractor kind of, work. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, my picture's a little different, from all the other places that Eric, I get that. I get that. So when I worked at all these new, that they were jobs that would last like 2 months, 2 weeks, and at the end of every job, you go through a grieving period. It may last a couple of hours, it may last a day, it may be a week. It depends on how long you've been contract working for a place. But in the first week of my contracting for any place, I could feel the tension, and I would make little comments that would make people laugh. And I just know that's what they needed. And after a week of me being around, everybody was feeling much calmer, and it was more of a place that I wanted to work in. So it's like, I don't know, was I being selfish? Trying to make it so that I like being there and they
No.
benefited from my efforts. And it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Kelly?
Yes, absolutely. Got to use some humor amongst in there, lighten stuff up. That's very important.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm not sure what it is about laughing. That's one of my curious things that I ask, but it's like a deep influx of oxygen, from like and we would get to the point where we would have belly laughs, and I knew that my job was actually my mission for every job was to do this, and I going, okay, I'm just gonna roll with it. What
I
else can
think
you do?
I read somewhere that laughter can shatter negative energy. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah, it's like
so
Zoom. You're up in the higher frequency when you laugh,
right, right. You can
and
share.
I think you're right. That's the best thing to anything that can get you zoom up to a higher frequency. You're going to be allowing divine energy to come in, and it's going to heal you wherever you need it. And I think more people could do that. I
Yes.
really do.
Now, a little twisted wants to know: are you related to the country music singers?
I sing. I sing. Every so often, I sing for 5 years at a time. I join a choir and I sing for 5 years. I don't know why I only sing for 5 years, but that's how it goes. Yeah. I was a music major in college for a couple of years. And one of the things about music is that you need to um, do it in your formative years as you're growing up, because when you get to college and you study music, you finally meet up with that one dreaded class, which is music theory. And the more experience you have with music, the easier time you have with um, passing music theory. And so I was just I had started as a business major because I loved math, but I had a fascination with math, but I didn't feel confident enough to do it as a math major. So I did it as a business major. And then I had roommates who were music majors, and they heard me singing in the shower and they go, Linda, you should be in the music department. So you have to audition at Cal State Hayward every year. When you're a freshman, senior, all the way up, every year you had to re-audition. And I'm going like, and I'm working through college, so it's a longer, I'm not taking 18 units a quarter to get out in 4 years. I'm like taking 12 units a quarter, and it's taking me way longer to get out of college. And I get to the point where I'm going like, oh my God, I've been here and I want to have a regular life. I don't want to be a student anymore. And so what I did is I thought about it and I thought about it and I considered it, and I decided that I had one class in drama in high school, and I didn't have stage fright. And I was like, whoa, that's really cool. I mean, for as shy as I was, and I didn't have stage fright, I thought that was like a miracle. And so what I decided in college was that I was going to do something I wanted to do. And I enjoyed the theater so much that I decided that that's what I was going to major in, and I did. So all the business classes I took and all of the music classes I took actually were the same kind of classes that was like 75% of the drama major. And so all I had to do was 2 more years. If I went liberal studies, it would have had been 2 years in a particular topic. So what the heck, just go what and that I was really going with the flow, and I was just really enjoying it. I was really enjoying it a lot.
Wow.
Still working, but you got
now
me through.
You opened up.
I hope I've helped.
It did. Now everybody audience is like, all right, Linda, we want to hear you sang a song.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what you want to hear. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. I can't think of any songs right now. Maybe next time I'll have something.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe next time we put her on the spot again.
Because I sing classical music, and I don't know of any that off the top of my head that would be.
Look,
I can tell you that my latest favorite band.
Linda sang. Look around the audience, cheering me on. So, all right, next time you're on the show, we'll dedicate some time. So yes.
Okay, I'll pick something again.
Scott's like, Jesus loves me. There you go, Linda. Jesus loves me. Anyway, next time, Scott, we'll give her some time. That way she
can. Amazing grace.
That's the song I was thinking of.
The sound. That's about it.
Yeah.
For nice. Yeah.
There you go, Scott. She sung. At least it wasn't, oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling.
Clementine.
That's right. Mary's over here laughing at me.
Oh, have you heard the new birthday song? Happy, happy, happy birthday. Da, 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 da. I make up music. I hear music in my head, and I make it. I was working at a newspaper, and that was the first time when I after a couple of years, the ad reps would sell space for me to fill. And they'd say, the client doesn't know anything about what they want. They just know they want you to make an ad for them. And so I did this little thing, and I would like go, I like just and go deep, think of something. Well, I wasn't that rough when I was talking to myself, but I did that, and I didn't realize that I was channeling. And they loved the ads that I came up with, and so this guy was the editorial department was right next to the ad department. And I would be the last person to see the newspaper because I would be the editorial would put their stories in, and then I would put the ads in all the other spaces. Wow. And I would make the newspaper, and I would put it in the email to the press, which was in the next town about 25 miles away. And it was like, oh my God, I didn't know how much energy that kind of job took. And I was finally talking to a counselor, and she says, do you know that working for a daily newspaper is as stressful as being an ER nurse or a doctor or a fireman? And I didn't know. Okay. Wow. Linda, yesterday my grandson turned 18, and tomorrow's my daughter's birthday. Well, good. Happy birthday. And you're welcome. Yeah. Yeah. I picked up on Chris's ability to hear songs, and I remember one
Mhm.
reading, he came up with a song for me that I'd never heard of, but I went and looked it up, and swear to God, that song was just, it was exactly about that reading that I got that day, and it was just amazing. So that's a really good gift to have. It really is.
Yes, it drives me nuts sometimes. Angela's saying hello
Hi,
to you.
Angela. So here I am, just being me, talking about stuff, and I'm having a good time. Really am. I want to thank you guys for letting me chat.
Thank you
So
for
I feel
coming.
like a jump from the audience into the hot seat.
But isn't it fun though?
Yeah, it's different. It's very different. It is. My boyfriend warned me. He says, "Now, don't go off talking about. You'll go from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing." And I've tried to stay on focus, and I hope I've done that.
It was good. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I enjoyed being here, and I wish I could say that I have a website people can contact me at, but I'm in Facebook, and you can find me under Linda Judd. If you did Linda Myro Judd, uh, my maiden name is Myro, Myro. I have um, I do have a website. It's called the Writer's Jacket. I have published 3 anthologies. I got together with a writers group, and actually that's where I met my boyfriend. And we published, because it was after the newspaper. I was doing newspapers for like 8 years, and I went off into um, I kind of semi-retired from that, and I went into I turned all that talent into turning out books. And because it's just using the same software and the same techniques, page layout and stuff like that. And we had a kick. It was like a labor of love in a way. Sometimes towards the end, I could only do 3 books. And because working with people who are not professionals at like being paid to write, they're very slow about meeting deadlines. And so it was like a world of difference from doing the newspaper where everybody was like, chugging out, turning out all this stuff. And then over here was these writers, and they go, "Oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. Oh, yeah, maybe that works." So I was having to dig within to get everything to meet the deadlines that we had for Christmas, because the books that we made were for gifts for family and friends. So we didn't publish them to be out on the mass market. They were just personal. And we wrote stories about Santa Clara Valley, which is also known as Silicon Valley. All the stories that we wrote had to have either taken place here or people moved here. And that's what we wrote about. And our books are in the Martin Luther King Library. So that was a really good experience. So
Yeah,
now all
the
I do is, besides help ghosts pass over, is I make book covers for artists, for writers, and that takes a while too. Yeah,
yeah. Welcome, Aaron.
I hope I've talked about things that people are. I know there's a lot of people writing chat, and I appreciate. I'm gonna look at all of these comments after the show, and I'll address each and every one to the best of my ability. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rebecca's want to know what a stone was. And let me turn off my green screen. And they're talking about your virtual background too. They're like, "Is that a real staircase behind you?" There you
Oh,
go, Rebecca.
this is a spiral staircase, and it's just lovely. I love spiral staircases.
So
What kind of
yes,
stone is that? Yeah,
that is
I'm wearing
a
a
Dalmatian stone.
malachite.
yes. My camera's
Oh,
backwards,
I
but
love
yes,
jasper.
Dalmatian. Yeah, Dalmatian Jasper.
No,
Yeah,
I
we
can
got
read it. It's wording
26
fine.
stones in. We got pocket crystals, and we're putting them on our website. So
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
love
that one's
crystals. I
used for
have a
animal
ton.
communication. Yes. So
I
absolutely.
have that. These are in the. I said, "Is that a scrying stone?" You know, it looks like an eyeball. And this is these. I love. Oh, what is it? I love. This is my rose quartz. Isn't that
Oh yeah.
pretty? Yeah, and I have. They're just spread all over. This has got amethyst in it. I don't know if you could see. It's just kind of like,
Yes, it's purple. You can
wow,
see it.
look at that.
Pretty.
Oh Lord, man, we're getting
And
crystals out from everywhere. Watch out, everybody. There's crystals galore everywhere around this place.
this one is, oh, yeah. So Barbara has a lot of crystals. I saw Barbara in the chat. She has tables full of crystals, and we tease her about having lots.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mary's
that's
pulling
pretty.
stones everywhere. Seer stones, she says, and I've got a rack, spring rack full of. She's got an amethyst stone that weighs 60-something pounds.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's
Mm,
huge. It's a
that's a
geode.
lot.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
big geode in the living room. And I have a whole
Oh,
crystal
how
table.
nice.
Oh, oh man, we're gonna have to do a show and tell one night. Is
What
what we're
is the
gonna have
seer
to do.
stone?
Those are the one.
Yeah,
Hold
do a
up
show
here.
on
Hold on for a second. Let me turn off my
Flash.
background here. Hold up here. Virtual
Oh,
background and none. All right,
you
hey, come
see
here,
this
Mary.
pink in my face?
Tell
I didn't start out the show with all this pink, but this pink is meaning that I'm connected to the higher frequencies right now.
So if you get the seer stones, when they have them and you have them, and they typically will have a flat area on them. I have whole sets of them. So as you can see, they have like a
Nice.
flat area. So when you go to
Yeah.
do prayer or meditation, and while you're sitting, you actually sit it straight over your third eye, and the energy that and vibration that comes from that can actually mess with the pineal gland and allow it to open further. So it's really good for
Nice.
those types of visions. That's what that's about.
I like that.
There.
Thank you.
Yeah,
like that.
she's probably got 150 different stones, and I'm just glad she don't have a slingshot. But yeah, everybody say hello to you, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
All right, Dino, Linda, it's been a pleasure having you on, and you're more welcome. Come back
Eric,
on
what kind of
anytime.
stones do you pull out of your pocket?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
But hey,
What
go
happened?
ahead, give me that rack real quick. Hold on, I'll show
What
you.
happened?
You had me in stitches. That's what happened. All right, so this is what I have to put on the website. Look.
Nice. There you go.
Oh, wow.
These are all pocket stones, all different kinds. So we just got them in, and I have to get them labeled and everything else. And there's a whole rack full. I can't even hold the rack up. That's how tall the rack is. So,
wow.
So if you show those off, you have to take them out of the bags.
Oh my Lord! Well,
Every stone I've ever
took one
bought
out of the bag, and that was that one.
Yeah.
So they all come in a little bag with a little bow on it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's wonderful packaging.
It is. It really is. And so I haven't got them up on the website yet. That's what I was going to work on today. But yeah, Linda, it has, and it's been fantastic. I'm so glad you came on the show.
Thank you very much.
Very
I
much.
appreciate you having me.
And I
had a good time. Thank you.
Yeah, now I'm being handed some more stones. So look at that stone.
Ooh.
And this is jade.
Is that jade? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice scar piece.
Yeah, replica of the mine ruins. She said, "That's why I'm saying we got to have a show and tell night." I mean, yeah, show and tell. I'm telling you, we would have a ball, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah, dedicated to.
She wants to put the 60-pound Geo on my stomach. Are you crazy? But we will get it out. Hurry up.
Nah.
Christmas is coming. A little twisted. I'm hurrying. Yes. But Linda, you're more welcome to come back. Kelly Joe, you have anything else?
Well, keep doing what you're doing, and eventually you'll probably do readings professionally, hon.
Well, thanks. I am working. I can't stop learning because it's like the information is just out there waiting to be.
Oh, we learn until we die. The minute you quit
clear,
learning, you're in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. I do believe you. Thank you. Thanks, Chris. It was wonderful to be here. Yeah.
No, and it's a pleasure. And how do people get a hold of you on Facebook one more time?
Well, on Facebook, I'm Linda Judd, and and if you look up Linda M. Judd or Linda Myro Judd, you'll find my my writer's jacket, and that's my my online
well, that's perfect.
website, and that was that's pretty personal too. Just
well,
like
thank
me.
you. And thank you so much, Linda. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in tonight.
I'm going to say hey, and I'm going to go ahead and
from coast to coast around the world. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Coming to a YouTube channel near you.